Ting-Lu is one of the bulkiest Pokemon we have ever seen. It boasts a massive HP stat and a very good defense stat. Its special defense stat is somewhat average, but this is patched up easily with its signature ability, Vessel of Ruin. This ability reduces the special attack of all Pokemon on the field without this ability by a quarter. This means that Ting-Lu becomes a tank when it comes to taking hits. It also helps its partners, as Vessel of Ruin will help keep all Pokemon safer from special attacks. This helps make common special attackers like Fluttermane and Chi-Yu much more manageable. It does, however, come with the drawback of reducing Ting-Lu's partner's special attack as well, so it is advised to try and have physical attackers next to Ting-Lu if possible. Ting-Lu will always carry ground coverage, in either Earthquake for damage to all Pokemon, or Stomping Tantrum for reliable single target damage. Dark coverage is less common on Ting-Lu, but if it does find its way onto the moveset, Throat Chop is Ting-Lu's most consistent option, whereas Payback has the potential to deal more damage, as Ting-Lu is probably moving second anyway given its low speed stat. Heavy Slam will very often be chosen for a KO on opposing Fluttermane, the most common Pokemon in the format. Ting-Lu can also make use of Ruination, the Ruin Pokemon's signature attack, that cuts the opposing Pokemon's current HP in half. One-hit KO moves have always been incredibly inconsistent, and have very rarely made their way onto teams trainers would be bringing to tournaments. Despite this, Ting-Lu will quite often carry Fissure in its moveset. Ting-Lu is easily bulky enough to expect to stay on the field for multiple turns, allowing more opportunities to fire off Fissures. This alone would have unlikely been enough to justify using Fissure, but Fissure ends up having great synergy with Ting-Lu's common ground coverage in Stomping Tantrum. If your previous move failed, Stomping Tantrum gets its power doubled on the next turn, and Fissure missing its mark fits the bill. So either you miss Fissure, and then Stomping Tantrum deals double damage the next turn, or Fissure connects, and you've secured a KO. Fissure is also easily fit onto Ting-Lu's moveset, as its favourite item is the Assault Vest. This stacks even further with the Vessel of Ruin ability, making Ting-Lu very difficult to KO from special attacks. Trainers are starting to experiment with other items on Ting-Lu, such as Choice Band for massive damage output, Lumberry to help with burns and sleep that would slow Ting-Lu down, or maybe even a weakness policy, as Ting-Lu is easily bulky enough to shrug off most super effective hits. Assault Vest remains the standout choice though, so expect this item on most Ting-Lus you face. For choice of terror, Ting-Lu tends to opt for defensive choices. Poison has proven itself to be a great defensive choice for many Pokemon, and Ting-Lu is no exception, as it turns its fairy weakness into a resistance. Water is also great defensively, as Ting-Lu is unlikely to be hit with electric type attacks, given its initial immunity as a ground type. Grass helps become immune to spores and rage powders, allowing it to take on Amoonguss much more effectively. If trainers are running an offensive Ting-Lu, then the Ground Terror is still a great option, as it gets rid of Ting-Lu's fairy weakness, while also increasing its ground damage output. So, with the impressive bulk on this Ting, losing becomes much less likely.